I also don't want to end it, but I'm like, how do you end it? How do you end the last episode? What do? We didn't talk about this part. We just talked about the questions we were going to talk through.
I know. I think we tell everyone how much we love them and like how unbelievably grateful we are for everyone, because we wouldn't have had this podcast without our listeners, without our audience. Okay, are you ready?
I am ready. Best one, last one.
Welcome back to our last episode of Mean Girl Pod. That was hard for me to say. I was like, my brain was like tweaking out.
You've never said that. You've always said, welcome back to another episode of Mean Girl Pod.
But today is officially our last one.
How are you feeling?
I feel good. I am so excited for what's to come for both of us, and I'm just so happy and like relieved, like we've talked about a million times, that we're ending on just such like a high and positive note. Like it's the only thing I could have asked for. What about you?
I feel the same way. It really feels like such an important chapter in both of our books, right? One that we just did, like we gave it our all. It was amazing. It was beautiful. We grew, we cried, we laughed. Like I feel really good about that. And now I'm happy that we're ending it. Like I'm like, we are ending it on such a high. Like that's what I'm excited about. Just like you said, like right before this, I'm like thinking in my head, I'm like, this isn't sad. This is so exciting, I feel like. And I'm excited for both of us.
Exactly. Did you bring a fun drink?
If I described to you what was happening at this house today, if I go upstairs, then my daughter will see me and it's over. So I haven't left the basement since about 8 a.m. So I have a water and a coffee.
We'll cheers with your coffee, and I'll cheers with my fruit punch, Poppy. Cheers.
I'm very jealous of your fruit punch. Cheers. I texted Jordan. I was like, champagne? She was like, no, not in the middle of the day recording. And I was like, you know what? Right.
I was like, it is going to be 90 degrees. I record in New York at 1 p.m. If I drink any alcohol that early on a hot day, I don't know if I could make it home because of how hot it is.
It also, like, if I'm on vacation, okay, you can have like an Aperol spritz with lunch, right? If not, like, it ruins my day.
Oh my God, yeah. Also, my mom she's coming into town, and if she wants me to make it to dinner, I was like, I can't drink. I would literally take a nap at like 3 p.m. and maybe not wake up until the morning.
I'm the same way. And we're just like, we're just getting older and it's just getting worse. But I think one thing, I know we were talking about, because this episode we're going to go through like a list of things that we learned. One thing that I learned was podcasting and alcohol, like a glass of wine, like it's not what you think it would be.
No, I really commend people who can drink and podcast, but I am someone, and I believe you're the same way, where we start to slur our words. And it doesn't matter if I have 1 glass of wine, 10 glasses of wine. I just get so excited and I talk so much faster. It wouldn't be fair to the audience. Like, they'd be like, I'm sorry, what did you just say?
They would truly be like, please stop talking. Also, you kind of like okay, I think if we taped our dinner table conversations after 3 glasses of wine and listened back to them the next day, it would sort of be like you really talked about one point for a really long time. You drove it in the ground. You both said the same thing back to each other. This is not fun to listen to.
Exactly. So we're not going to do that. And like Alex said, we're going to have like a little nostalgic / walk down memory lane episode. And one of our listeners gave us a really good idea about, instead of just doing like a rose and thorns, she was like, why don't you do a rose and thorn of all 4 years? And I was like, why don't we do like a rose, thorn, and bud as well?
Love it. I love it. Okay, so I have my notes up. Okay, I'm ready. What's your rose?
I forget. Do we start with our thorn and end on the rose?
Yeah, we do. Okay. What's your thorn?
So, because I feel like people are always like, you don't end on a bad note. So we have to make sure we end on a positive note. Okay, so my thorn of all 4 years of Mean Girl Pod, I think I would have to say it was the reputation we got from our clips. Like when we started the show, obviously Barstool would clip like things that would go viral, and they were very funny. And a lot of people just thought we were like shallow, airhead, naive, just like not very nice. And it made me so frustrated because if you were a true listener, you'd realize like we talked about mental health, friendship, hard times. Like we had very emotional episodes. We went through so much hardship together, and it made me sad that people thought a certain way of us when it's like if you just gave us a chance to listen to our episodes, you'd realize that there was so much more. But like I would say that would have to be the only thorn, because I had to like really think about a thorn of the 4 years, and that's like the only thing I could think of.
Yeah. So my thorn, because I had the same like thought as you, right? And my thorn was almost the name. Because we're always being like mean girl, but we're nice like that. But then I love our name, so that wasn't my thorn. My thorn was anytime you or I said something, and then we had to come back and be like, this is like podcasting in general, but you were like, that's just not how I meant it. And I couldn't think of like specific examples, but I didn't feel like we had many, but I felt like we would talk about them sometimes, be like, I didn't mean that. And like the way you articulated it wasn't what we wanted. And then it was like taken out of context or something. And that just always sucks. Like anybody that's a podcaster or creates content will know what I'm talking about. But that to me was just a thorn in general of like, it's not what I meant. And that's what I said, but it's not what I meant. And you don't get like, if you listen back to it on a Friday and it's coming out you don't get to redo it. So you can cut it or leave it in. And then it's just like, it has to go out. And so that always sucked.
Yeah, it is really incredible how 99% of clips can be taken out of context in the podcast or content world. And editing is a very crazy thing, I will say. They can edit you to sound a very specific way if they want to.
Guys, let's talk about Cozy Earth, because there is nothing better than a good night's sleep, especially now when it's hot outside, which is where Cozy Earth's bamboo sheets come in, because they are temperature regulating, guaranteed to give you a comfortable night's sleep. They're made from viscose from bamboo, so they naturally wick away heat and moisture from your body, helping you sleep several degrees cooler. There's enhanced sleep quality. The cooler temperature facilitates your body's natural drop in core temperature at night, promoting a release in melatonin. So if that doesn't make you want to go to sleep forever, I don't know what will. Also, mood regulation. Cooler sleeping conditions may boost your serotonin levels, which is something that I know we're all running for. Also, it's a risk-free purchase. There's a 100-night sleep trial, so you can try them in the hottest nights of the year. And if you're not in love, you can return them hassle-free. But trust me, you guys, you are not going to want to do that. Also, there's a 10-year warranty on all bedding products. So you guys, upgrade your summer. Go to CozyEarth.com and use code MEAN for up to 40% off best-selling temperature-regulating sheets, apparel, and more. Trust me, you'll feel the difference the very first night. It's always like if you watch reality TV, they can make like the most salacious trailer and you're like, oh my God. Like somebody can be like screaming F you at somebody, and then you watch the episode and they're actually impersonating somebody else telling a story, and it's like not dramatic at all. It's sort of that.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, what is your rose?
So my rose, the community felt lofty. Like I was like, I wanted to say the community that we built. But so I furthered it and I said, my rose is like, what a cool job it was, because it was challenging. It was fun, but it was vulnerable. And I think a lot of people, there's always a joke people say, which is like, we should start a podcast, right? And I think one thing that's really cool, like it was our job. And so that's my rose, is like, what a cool job for people in their 20s and 30s.
Yeah, my rose, it's very broad, but it was every experience it gave us. Like we were able to work at one of the largest media companies because, we got our jobs at Barstool before that, but it like allowed us to like have all these very cool experiences at Barstool and like travel and work with brands and go on these trips. It allowed us to meet very cool people. It allowed us to start Just Media. It allowed us to live in any city we want. Like it brought so many great things. And like you said, it was like the coolest job for your 20s. And it was just like, every single experience that it brought us is just, I like still think back and I'm like, how the heck was I able to do that? That is so cool.
Yeah, it was so cool. And I remember back to like the early days, whenever we would start to be more vulnerable, it was like I had never done that before. And it was this really cool, it like changed me as a person. And I'm like so thankful for that experience. So I would add that to it.
Yeah. And then what is your bud? Which I feel like we've talked about a million times.
No, I don't know what a bud is.
Oh, it's just what you're looking forward to post Mean Girl Pod. It's like what you're looking forward to in the next year.
Oh, okay. I have bud question mark because I was like, okay, you go first. Let me think about mine.
So my bud,
I think I know him.
yeah, like my bud is just what we've talked about a million times. I'm just really excited to see like what this next year brings. I've never, I actually like I was at an event the other day and someone was like, "What do you do?" And I'm like, actually, starting like next week is gonna be the first time I'm like traditionally a full-time content creator. I've never done that where I've had nothing else on my plate. And I'm just like really excited to see what that looks like. And like maybe I won't like it as much as I think, or maybe I'll love it, maybe I'll flourish. I'm just really excited to see like what the next year brings, because if I've learned anything in the content creation world, your life can literally change at the blink of an eye. And it's just like I'm very excited to see where life takes me.
Yeah. So one, I'm excited for you because you're going to a lot of events.
No, this
right.
You can't do my bud. You have to do your bud.
But I know, but I want to respond to you on your bud.
Okay, you can
excited. I'm excited for you. I think that I have the same bud, right? It's going to be okay. So like, think about, if you're listening, think about it this way. Mean Girl Pod records on Wednesdays. It's a fixed time, right? Content creation can happen anytime. So like, that's a really cool thing to remove that from your schedule. And then it's like, you don't have a lot more fixed times of things. Like you have when you have to record your branded content. I'll have to record the 2-parent stuff. Like there will be fixed things throughout the day. But like being a content creator is really fun because you can make your own schedule.
Yeah.
And that's where I think allows for creativity. But I want to hear about the event you went to.
Oh, I went to an event with Peter Thomas Roth on Monday. Yeah, it was Monday. And it was an event where we got to like listen to Peter Thomas Roth himself actually speak about new products that just came out. So it was like a panel. It was really cool. It's actually insane. I think about like if I would have gone to like esthetician school, I would have just like thrived in education, because I could just sit there all day and listen to people talk about skincare. I'm just like, that's like the only time where I'm like, you have my undivided attention. Any other subject, I'm like, peace out. I can't even focus. But we just learned about their products and their brand, and I got to meet some really nice people, and it was just really cool.
What's going on with him?
In like what sense?
Like, how old is he?
That's a good question.
Is he involved?
Oh, so involved. Like he was there himself speaking with his son. Him and his son run the company. And I think his son, I would say, is maybe around our age.
Okay.
So I think that would put Peter probably in his 60s, maybe. But they both looked great, like stunning. Both great, like great skinned individuals. Like they have beautiful skin. They're just beautiful people. And they seemed so nice. Like they just wanted to like meet and talk to everyone. And I'm just like, I love seeing a CEO of a company like be very involved in its community. And he just seems like he treats his employees so well. And it was just really cool.
Okay, that's awesome. Where was it?
It was at the TikTok headquarters in New York. So that was cool too that I got to see.
I mean, that's really cool.
They have a sick office, obviously. I mean, I wouldn't expect anything else. But I was like, well, this would be like a really cool place to work.
Yeah, that's awesome. That would be, TikTok would be a cool place to work.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like one of those places you think about that implement like all of the newest technology. And like, I'm sure they have just like very good, happy employees, I would assume.
Totally. Same. I actually know like 2 people that work for them and they do like love it. So that's cool. Okay, so do we want to get into our list?
Did you say your bud?
It's the same as yours.
Okay.
It's just what comes next. Like I think it's really cool. I think you close the door more open. I think like focusing on, I'm like really enjoying content creation in general, and so I'm just excited to like do more of that.
Yes, I agree. Also, I love your nail color.
Dude, I love my nail color. It's not every day that I go and get them done and then I think I love that. I love it.
Like, I'm used to seeing you with blue or red. I love the mint green. It is so pretty.
Yeah, it was not the normal, and I almost got cold feet, and I almost audibled to the girl beside me, and she had hot pink, and I was like, no, I've done that enough. Also, the girl beside me, okay, so we have had the tragic floods here.
Yes.
And a bunch of the dogs were moved to Austin, and that were in, what is it called? I'm drawing a blank. Anyways, she went and got a dog from somewhere, and she was fostering it. And it was so cute. And he was running around the nail salon. Yeah, and he has a little Adopt Me vest. It was so sweet. I thought you would love that.
I do love that. I volunteered at a dog rescue event last Saturday, and it was like the best Saturday I've had in literal years. I was like, I literally just got to hang out with dogs all day. And I'm like, this is my happy place because you don't have to worry about conversation. You don't have to make small talk. You just hang out with furry little friends who love you so much.
It was this it's like, I love that you're doing this now because this dog she's like, I've had him for 2 days. He would jump in her lap. He was just giving her kisses. Like, he loved her so much because she was like his source of everything. And it was so sweet. And they said, because we were asking her, we're like, okay, what are you going to do? She's like, I can't give him back. Like, I'm either going to get him adopted or I'm keeping him. And she said when she was down there like volunteering. And then like the truck arrived and they were relocating the dogs. And she was like, what happens with all those dogs? And they're like, we're at capacity now. So we're just going to have to like crate them in the hallways. And she was like, give me one.
I don't know who this lady is, but she sounds incredible. Like, that makes me so happy that she did that.
She was our age. Like, she was just like getting her nail. Like, she was so cute. She was just like, yeah, I had to take it. I have 2 dogs. This is my 3rd. Like, I got to do it. And I was like, good for you.
I love that so much.
Mean Girl Pod is sponsored by BetterHelp. You guys, Jordan and I are huge proponents of therapy because you never know what life will throw at you. It is always better to play offense than it is to play defense. And that truly starts with therapy. Workplace stress is one of the top causes of declining mental health, with 61% of the global workforce experience higher than normal levels of stress. You guys, to battle stress, most of us can't just wave goodbye at work. We can start small with a focus on wellness because, like they always say, you never just shut the door on your work. It comes with you afterwards. And so, you guys, a holiday is great, but it isn't a long-term solution to stress. So don't forget that therapy can help you navigate whatever challenges the workday or any day might bring. So, you guys, if it's becoming one of those things where work is bleeding into your personal life and the stress is becoming overwhelming and it's impacting your personal life, therapy might be something that is for you because it's something that Jordan and I have always done since we started this podcast, and it has made a huge difference in both of our lives. So with over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally, and it works with an app store rating of 4.9 out of 5 based on over 1.7 million client reviews. It's convenient too. You can join a session with a therapist with the click of a button, helping you fit therapy into your busy life. Plus, you can switch therapists at any time. So as the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of experience. Unwind from work with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/meangirl. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/meangirl.
But yes, let's now get into our, what would you call these? Like not our questions, but like our walk down memory lane questions?
Yeah. That's good. Like our top, yeah.
Okay. Number 1 is what we learned the most from Mean Girl Pod.
Okay, so mine is be yourself because you're good enough. And I felt like that was something that we both, like, I think to remember how far you've come, you have to remember where you started. And I think back to like when we were trying to figure out like what's the podcast going to be, and we always like came back to like if we don't talk about things that matter to us that we believe in, that we love, like we're not going to love doing this. And we always loved doing it, and we were always ourselves. And I think it was just a window into like be yourself because you're good enough. And I think that's applicable to everyone.
I really love that, and I agree. Mine was to be a better person because I feel like throughout this podcast, like, especially from my standpoint, because when I started, I was single. I definitely started having more of like a shallow mindset about dating and the people I was dating. And I feel like I can confidently say, if you listen to all the episodes, I grow as a person, especially removing like the shallowness from what I think I want in a person or what I think I want in life or this and that. And I think just like having these vulnerable conversations with you and our audience, it was almost like therapy every single week when we would record, and it made me really reflect and also gave me more topics to like talk about in my own actual therapy. And I just feel like it turned me into a better, more well-rounded person.
Totally agree. I think when we talked through things, it always, like you said, it made us more well-rounded, and it like almost held you accountable in a way. And so I think when you're having that conversation out loud, then it inherently like permeates you. And so I think that that's something that's really cool. That's like, we always used to joke and be like, it's almost like a therapy session, and you're just like talking it out. But when you're doing that for an hour, like inevitably it changes your brain chemistry, which is cool.
Yes. And I also feel like we learned to become incredible interviewers.
No question. Also, like, incredible interviewers, and it's like not every day, like, think, because we would just have like very candid conversations, right? And we would always say like save it for the pod. So it was like truly our real life, real time conversations happening. And it's like having those with your friends with a microphone for people to listen to is like when you think back to it, you're like, that's actually a crazy experience.
Oh my God, yeah. I learned to be like a better communicator, a better active listener, and I truly think I learned so many communication skills. Like if we're going down that lane from this podcast, recording every single week.
No question. And to ask people questions and what to ask them and what to say back. Like, yeah, it's crazy.
Especially when you were on maternity leave and I did do a couple episodes with guests. I could not have done those guest episodes if I would have done that 4 years ago, because I just feel like us interviewing each other and talking to each other just gave us those skills, because that takes a true talent to be able to sit in a room with someone and just come up with conversation for an hour long.
On the fly, it's hard, and you leave and you feel like you just did gymnastics with your brain.
No, literally, every time I leave, I usually go home and take a nap because I'm so exhausted.
Yeah, the interview, it's like that. It's so true. But I even noticed it, like, even at my grandma's funeral, like when I spoke, I was nervous before, but I was like, okay, wait, but I know how to do this. And like I had written stuff on my phone, and so I was reading it and I was like having to look up, right? Because I didn't want to just like read from my phone the whole time. And then I was like, no, that's how I read ads. Like you do every week, you like flex this very important muscle, which you can like apply places, which I think is actually cool.
Yeah, I love that. Question number 2, a monumental moment you went through during the 4 years of the podcast.
You go first.
I would say like my monumental moment, it's kind of like a mix of like when I think back to these 4 years, it's like me being single all the way through becoming a fiance. So like all my dating, like the heartbreak I went through, finding Pete, getting engaged, like that to me is like the most monumental moment of these 4 years. Just like literally seeing me go from single to engaged is pretty crazy.
It's so crazy. And I remember whenever we were at Bagel Pub.
Yeah. Like, yeah, that's the first time I saw you, when I was dating Pete.
Yeah. And you were like, I have a boyfriend. And now it's so crazy to think like you have a fiance.
Yeah. It is wild. It's crazy what can happen in 4 years.
It's crazy. Yeah. So would you, if you have to pinpoint one that was the most monumental, what was it? Like when you started dating Pete, or do you think it was more so when you got engaged?
Well, I think the most monumental moment was me making that switch in my life from dating really crappy guys to understanding my worth and finding a really amazing guy to date that I truly deserved. Like that to me was a very monumental moment, because like there's a big shift. All of a sudden I went from like these horror stories to Pete, and I'm like, that that's a very monumental moment for me.
Yeah, that's a good answer. I think that is, yeah, probably. What, do you think it was a moment or do you think it was like a period?
I mean, definitely a period because it took a long time to get there. But I like vividly remember it was like May of 2023. Yeah, 2023, where I like made that shift and I just like wasn't putting up with people's crap anymore. Like if I was ghosted, if I was being treated poorly, I would be like, see you later. You don't get a second chance. I'm moving on. And just like how I like carried myself when I was dating, like Pete always says on our first date, he couldn't believe like how confident I was. And I was like, I wouldn't have had that 2 years ago, 3 years ago, even 6 months ago before meeting him. So it was definitely a phase, but like that period of my life is just very monumental to me.
That's really cool actually to think about.
What's yours?
Mine, I was gonna say like whenever I got divorced, but I actually, while that's like a moment for me, I don't think it's the most monumental. I think the most monumental was becoming a mom.
Yeah.
Because that's my most monumental like thing that's changed my life in general. So, but you know, I don't think one thing happens. If the divorce doesn't happen, then the motherhood doesn't happen the way that it did. So I think that I'm going to give it to motherhood. The honorable mention is to divorce. But the main thing that I guess I'm saying is trust the path, right? Because like at the time, you know, the divorce doesn't make sense and it hurts. And like I remember that episode, right? And like that episode's just like putting that out. I remember where we were sitting the day it came out, another coffee shop near Melrose. But like, and I was so happy when that came out because I felt like a weight was lifted off my shoulders and I felt like the world had caught up to like where I was, because, you know, that was the first time where like podcast didn't match real life, and then it did. And like, that was great. But the most monumental thing for me, by far, was becoming a mom. So, but I think back and I just think like trusting the process is really important because everything happens for a reason. And so I'm like really thankful for that. You guys, let's talk about O Positive. O Positive is a women's health company that offers a range of symptom targeting supplements that support women at every stage of life, from their first period to well beyond their last. They're committed to breaking down stigmas and addressing issues many women experience. Think hormone health, vaginal health, menopause, and so much more. We're specifically going to talk about the product, the Urovaginal Probiotic. It's a probiotic blend specifically formulated to support vaginal health. Think balance healthy vaginal pH, support healthy vaginal smell, and maintain healthy vaginal flora. Because you guys, there's many factors that can contribute to this. Sex, tight clothing, sweat from working out, hormones, periods, etc. They can disrupt vaginal health and lead to an imbalance in vaginal flora and pH, causing unhealthy vaginal odor and taste, abnormal discharge, and discomfort, you guys. So I'm going to read from some of the reviews because they say it best. So start quote, "This product is a life changer. Talk about build up your sex life and confidence. My husband loves them and noticed a difference during intimacy. Every woman needs this." Another one, "This product does everything it says it will. I just finished my second month. I have no discharge, no odor, and no taste. This stuff is such a game changer." And I know it's taboo, you guys, but it's something that so many people deal with, and it is so important to talk about. So take proactive care of your health and head to opositive.com/mean or enter code MEAN at checkout for 25% off your first purchase. That's opositiv.com/mean for 25% off.
Yeah, your whole, like, I would say, like, moving to Austin, period. Because it's like when you met Harrison before that, but like meeting Harrison, becoming pregnant, moving to Austin, having like you just like transforming into a mother was just like very, very cool to see.
Thank you. And I think it's like, you know, like you got to like your life, right? And, you know, it's like I've always liked my life a lot, but now it's like I love it and I'm really like thankful for it and feel fulfilled from it. And so probably podcast wise, the divorce is like the most monumental, but in life, this chapter is the most monumental. So
I love that.
That's my answer. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say favorite episode.
What? Okay, what's yours?
Okay, so I have 3.
Okay.
And this is in no particular order. So this is when I was jotting them down. Actually, I'll put them in order when they came out. So the first one is episode 23, the one where it's I'm fucking hot. It was one where me, you, and Alana were like doing a body image episode, and that is one of my favorite episodes because I feel like that's when Mean Girl Pod really took a turn and people started to see us as like not just these like two silly girls, but two girls that have like meaningful conversations. Like we're your best friends in your ear. We want to help you get through it, and like we really started to build our Mean Girl Pod community. The next one is episode 41. It's called You Look Good Naked, Girls Trip to OKC. And it's the episode where me, you, and Alana were filming in the bathtub in your mom's.
That's mine.
Yeah, your mom's bathroom.
I thought that was going to be on yours. That's why I was like, wait, what's yours? That's my number one.
I think we had the most fun recording that episode. I just remember I had not laughed that hard in so long. And then
that's what I wrote down.
My last one is episode 73, and that was with Girls Gotta Eat. And that's just one of my favorites because that's like a very monumental moment where I was like, we actually have like a very successful podcast because Girls Gotta Eat was a podcast I listened to years before I even moved to New York. And they're Raina and Ashley are just like two girls that I looked up to, and I like loved their content, and their podcast was my favorite. So it was like being able to interview two people that you're like obsessed with and their content was just such a very cool and surreal moment.
It's an unbelievable moment, and it's like it's so cool to think back to that. I have the bathtub in OKC. I also loved like any time we recorded remote. Like I think about the one in Nashville where you were staying at the one hotel. And we were getting spray tans in your room. Yes. And then like we had the robes, and like then we recorded. Like I always thought like those were really fun doing it on the go and like setting it up. And I thought that was always awesome.
The episode where we did it in a bar, was that Carolina, South Carolina? Charlotte? Was that Charlotte?
Yes, we did. And there was like that bar behind us.
Yeah, that was like just like a cool episode because we were in like a really cool bar.
All of them, I was thinking about them and I was like, that was fun. Like Miami and like the Cabana, like it was all these like really cool on the go, and then you would just like take the equipment, you would set it up, like it was a blast.
Yeah, no, that I could not agree more. I love that we both had the OKC one though. That's so funny.
I thought you would have the bathtub one. I was like, I bet she does.
And I just think it's like, what day of the week girl are you? That's all I think about when I think about that episode.
Oh my God, I die. I know. I was like going back through pictures and I was like, oh, funny. Oh, and also like, I used to have the longest hair and the longest nails that were 74 different colors.
I can't remember your nails as much, but your hair, you had so much hair.
It was so long, and my nails were square, but they were long.
Yes, I do remember that. Yep.
I was like looking back, and I had a lot of bronzer. I was looking back at these pictures, and I was just like, okay, cool.
Do you miss your long hair? Would you ever get it?
No. No. Oh my God. Like, also, it's like you get a headache, and it's just, yeah, I was looking back. I was like, oh my God.
I love your hair length now. I also love your hair short, though, too. You're like the one person in the world that actually looks like so good with short hair.
I never understood like the mom bob or like why. Like I was like, what do you mean? And it's like my hair is up like this, 6.5 days out of the week.
Oh, same.
And maybe 1/2 day I'll throw it down. But like I get how you just need like the mom bob makes sense because it's just like easier.
Oh yeah. The other day Pete was like, why don't you wear your hair down anymore? I'm like, I can't. It's just too much until I get a haircut. Like it's slicked back every day. It's too hot. It's too heavy. It's just it's a full-time job.
It's a full-time job, and it's just like nobody has the time, but in the summer it's just like back. You keep it back. So,
yes.
Okay, worst take we ever had.
Oh no, favorite trip first.
Oh, right, favorite trip. Okay. So I doubled up on this one. It's that Nashville trip. I don't know. We took a lot of Nashville trips, but there was one where you stayed at the one, I stayed at the other hotel. I can't remember, but I remember walking back and forth between the hotels, and like I just remember we had a blast that trip.
Was that the trip where we went to that like underground bar that like wasn't very like Nashville-y, and we like were drinking shots? That was a very fun trip. Yes.
That was such a fun trip. I just remember like we would walk back and we would just like crack up laughing, and like I don't know why. And I remember the spray tans. I remember the robes. I like remember like little pieces about it. And I was going back through photos and I was just like, this is, for some reason, like Miami was really fun. But like, that's my favorite trip. What's yours? You guys, let's talk about Skims, because the rumors are true. Push-up bras are back and they are better than ever. I've been seeing the viral Skims Ultimate Bra all over my feed, and I have it for myself. I have it in the onyx color. I wore it in Napa. I wore it in Carmel. I wear it with any dress, you guys. And other push-up bras can be bulky. They can feel heavy, but the ones from Skims, it just lifts and it supports like no other bra I've tried before. It honestly kind of looks like you got a boob job. It is truly the best. And the best part is all of their bras, all of their underwear, they are so comfortable. I'm wearing one of their tank tops right now. You don't walk through the door at the end of the day and think, I can't wait to take my bra off. I can't wait to change out of these underwear, because they're so comfortable that you don't even know you're wearing them. J-Dub has the ultimate teardrop push-up bra, and I have the ultimate strapless push-up bra. Both are phenomenal. I cannot recommend them both enough. So shop the Skims Ultimate Bra Collection and more at skims.com. After you place your order, be sure to let them know we sent you. Select podcast in the survey and be sure to select our show in the drop-down menu that follows.
Wait, was that the one where we were promoting the Barstool Bar?
I can't remember that we had so many. It's like we went to Nashville like 3 times.
Yeah, because
my like photos.
Were we with Shannon and Hannah?
Yes.
Okay, so we were promoting the Nashville bar, or the Barstool Nashville bar, during that trip.
And we went to like that hotel rooftop, and then we went to the bottom because it started raining. Like, that was really fun.
Yes.
All of it was really fun.
I know, we went to Nashville so many times. They like all mixed together, but I vividly remember that one because of like the downstairs bar and then seeing Hannah and Shannon. And we had Aperol Spritz and oysters, I believe, on the rooftop.
Yes, we did. And like that rooftop's really cool. Not when it's raining, but like otherwise it's really cool.
Yes. And I remember being in the elevator and we were doing like 1, 2, 3 and asking each other if we could guess each other's favorite like drink or food or this or that. Yeah.
Yes, like color. Yes. I just thought that trip I just thought was a blast. What's your favorite trip?
So I have 2 favorite trips, and they're both times we went to Oklahoma. The first being the bathtub episode one, where it was that one was with Alana, and we went to like Sonic for the first time because I think it was hers, right?
Yes, and the ordering video is so funny because we just kept adding and adding French toast bites, XYZ,
yes.
A hot dog, this, that.
And we went to like a football game, and we got spray tans, and like that trip was just like so. I think I got food poisoning during that trip because we ordered like sushi.
You did, because we ate sushi. Yes,
and we had lunch boxes
and calf fries.
Yes, that was like that was such a fun trip. It was just like, I don't know. I had so much fun on that trip. And then the second was when we were in OKC for our first live show, because like I feel like OKC had such a massive community of Mean Girl Pod listeners. Like, we had such a huge turnout, and it was such a great event. And it just like, it was a time where I don't know, it was just like such like a loving memory of like so many people came out to support us. And yes. I always just loved going to your house because your parents were gone that weekend, and it was literally just me, you, and Alana, and we got to hang out at your house with your dogs. I
remember we were wearing like those really bright, like we recorded that episode outside,
yes,
at like under the patio, and I never will forget that one. And we made that like very funny video beforehand. But like those trips, so the one where we ate the calf fries, that was my second one. And we went to Brahms.
Yes.
Like we did a whole, we went to Ted's for the Mexican food. You drove my mom's car. Like that one was,
yes.
And we were like joking because we're like, Jordan's using her blinker. And that trip was a blast. You did get food poisoning. I never will forget though.
And then remember I puked the second time because I had like 14 Pink Whitney shots at our live show. And then I
Yes.
refused to sleep in your brother's room because it's haunted. So I was like, can I please sleep in the guest room downstairs with Alana? I like forced her to sleep with me.
I'm dying. I forgot about that. That meetup was so much fun. I remember we were like, had no idea what to expect. And then the next day we were like, that was so fun.
And then your friend's dad had to like pick us up at like 3 a.m. or something. I can't even remember.
Yes. It was, yeah, because like you can't get an Uber there. Like you can, but it's going to like take forever. Oh yeah. We had so much fun.
Yeah,
Those trips were so fun.
That was like one of the best Mean Girl Pod experiences I had, I think, too.
I remember like walking into Alex, right? That was his name, our guy. Yeah, he had it like branded. He had the burger. Like he did so much and it was so much fun.
Yeah. Oh my God. I had so many. That summer I drank my body weight in Pink Whitney shots.
It was the best. That stuff is so good.
I remember the Tampa one that you couldn't go to. I had, I think, 11 Pink Whitney shots. And then I FaceTime Pete for like one of the first times afterwards because we were just starting to talk.
Oh my gosh. That's probably, oh man, that is, oh yeah, the Tampa one. That's right. Yeah, I couldn't go to that, but you went to that. Oh my God, you had 11 shots. What does 11 shots do to you?
It makes you die. And then I was sunburned because I forgot how strong the Tampa heat is. Like this was like 2 years ago. So this was like before I was even used to going visiting my parents. And I remember I had the worst sunburn on my back.
You were just like fried.
Yes.
Dead.
But it was fun. It was still, it was a fun time.
It was such a fun time. I look back on all these memories and I'm like, that was like, we had so much fun. Okay, what's your worst take we ever had?
I mean, mine's obviously the 666. I'll never live that down. And I don't even believe in it anymore.
I also have written down the 666 because you don't believe it anymore.
No, I mean, like, date anyone you want. Who cares? Like, about the money,
Literally.
the size, the income, the height. Like, who cares?
Here's how much that we've evolved. Is like, I don't even want to talk about it. I'm just like, I don't even want to define. I just laugh.
And what makes me the most sad is, like, the height thing. Because it's like, no one can control that. Like, love a man of any size, any height, any income.
Anything, like, oh man, it's so, you just think back and you're just like, well, okay.
I didn't think it was going to be as big of a deal. It was something that literally me and one of my friends made up on the spot as like a joke. I said it on the podcast and I will still see it like being talked about, never like credited to Mean Girl Pod, but I'll like see like an article, this or that, and I'm like, that's going to haunt me forever.
I die. It's funny. It's like, you gotta let people evolve, and we just the 666. I'll never forget when you told me for the first time. I was like, what is that?
Yeah. Oh my God. What is yours? Besides
that's mine. I have
that. Was
yours. That's the one I have written down. I mean, I just think like, because I was thinking about other ones, and I was like, because I don't even think we have worst takes, right? Like, I think we have takes that like you evolve from.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm like, okay, nothing that I can think of that I'm like, that's the worst take. No, I don't really think we had one.
No, because
I silly takes.
Because like I don't regret anything we said because in that moment we were very much authentically ourselves and we are not afraid to say that we've grown from that. So it's like, no, I don't regret that because like that's not what I think anymore. So I can confidently say like, yeah, I did think that at the time because I was naive, but I don't anymore because I've grown up.
Right. And it was fun. It was funny.
What's your best story ever told? Or just the best story ever told?
So it's your story. And it's when I'll just lightly tell it, and it can be an if you know, you know. But you were on the beach, and then the beach house tipped, the lifeguard stand tipped over. I was audibly laughing at thinking about that.
I still think about the bruise I got from that and like how I didn't break a leg. Like, I remember showing you the bruise and you being like, I doubt you have that big of a bruise. And then I like showed you the picture because I think it had been like a week since it was over the 4th of July. And you guys were like, oh my God.
It was just the way that you delivered the story. Like, I just remember being like doubled over, just dying laughing.
Wait, that's actually such a good story. Because I didn't have like a specific one because I feel like all the best stories that I told were like just ones I don't want to bring up anymore because I want to respect Pete. But like
that's why I said I will lightly tell the story. If you know, and we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, they were just like all of our goofy, stupid stories. I'm trying to think if we ever had any where you and I just like got into trouble and we told a story. But I like know there is one where you and I were just like goofing around, but I can't think of anything on the top of my head.
That one was the only one I can, like, I was just trying to think of like times. A lot of them weren't stories. A lot of them were like moments. Like, but that one was a story where I was like, I just remember being like, what? With summer in full swing, I feel that familiar urge to refresh my closet, but I'm not trying to waste money on pieces I'll only wear once for just one season, and I know you guys feel the same way. That's where Quince comes in. Their clothes are timeless, they feel luxurious, they look elevated, and the quality is way beyond what you would expect for the price because they partner direct with factories, so they cut out the middleman, and they're able to pass on discounts to people like you and I, you guys. So the best thing you can do is go to Quince because you are going to want to refresh your closet. I have the gingham skirt with like a little slit in it. I also have a black strapless top. It's linen. It's so cute. Their silk is washable. Their pillows are awesome. We're redoing our house. We were just on their website looking at their home decor. Everything is unbelievable. So you guys, give your summer closet an upgrade with Quince. Go to quince.com/mean for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/mean to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/mean.
Yeah. That's actually such a strong or true point. Like all the things were more so moments than stories where I think back and I'm like, what? Like, one, how did we get away with that? Or like, we're so lucky that, like, I think about when you lost your passport, I'm like, we're so lucky we found that. Like, what are the odds?
What are the odds? Like, if we found it on a different, like, what are the odds of that? But like, that's a moment. Like, I was trying to think of like a time. Wait, hold on. We could think of one more story that was told.
I'm trying to think when we would go out. If, like, when we were in New York, did we ever go out to any, like, I'm trying to think. There has to be one with like Hannah involved where I just, whenever I think about Hannah hanging out with us, I just think about crying, laughing.
I'm trying to think though, like, I can't, how can I, but this is what I was doing earlier. I was like trying to think of a story.
I mean, I guess this isn't really a story, but like, you winning Rough and Rowdy and like retelling that, like, that was a really cool. That was like just a really cool period of Mean Girl Pod. Then going to the Hamptons afterwards.
Oh, that was a blast. I was like so thankful for that period too. That was a really awesome thing. And that's just like a really cool thing that Barstool does in general, I feel like a really cool thing. But that summer was a blast.
That might be one of my favorite trips, going to the Hamptons, because that was my first time, I think.
And I think I would also like to change my answer to that. I forgot. We bladed there. It was so fun.
Yes. Okay, yeah, that's probably one of my favorite trips. We bladed there. And that was my first time experiencing Montauk. So I was like a kid in a candy shop.
That was a blast. Actually, like landing on the water and then taking like the little boat and then having that lunch, like, that was awesome. I cannot believe I forgot about that.
And like, we went to Surf Lodge and Gurney's, and I just, like, I'm so grateful that we got to like experience like all these like crazy places in the Hamptons that, like, now I don't have an interest of going, but like, I'm so grateful we went because it was a blast.
It was so much fun. I forgot about that trip. That one, that's like for sure a top 3. That's probably top 1. Like, that was so fun. I loved that hotel. Like we like ran around. It was so fun.
And going to Crow's Nest. Oh, Crow's Nest is so beautiful.
Oh my God. What is that drink? The watermelon something? It's so good.
They still have that. And it's still $25.
It's like, isn't it actually $25?
I believe so, yeah.
But
Because I got it last summer.
Is the watermelon's like fresh squeeze, no?
Yeah.
I mean, it has to be for that. But like a watermelon refresher or something like with mint.
It's just, it's so beautiful there. It's like a movie scene.
It is beautiful there. Man, that trip was so fun. I'm trying to think of another story. I like can't think of one that was funny. I don't know how. We can't think of one.
I know. I'm just trying to think of the places
I can think
we
of
went
like,
out. Oh, I actually, one of my like the funniest stories is you dressing up and going on the dates with me. Like, I still like pee my pants thinking about those.
Those are hilarious. I forgot about that. I know we just like talked about that like a couple episodes ago too. But
yeah.
I had so much fun doing that. I'm trying to think of other. That was a great moment, like couple moments. I had so much fun live tweeting that. Yeah, I don't know. Didn't you see a dead body sometime, which is like so sad and like RIP, but didn't that happen before a recording?
Yes, that happened before one of our recordings. Very, very traumatic experience. But like once you
That's like so traumatic.
You like it's so. I told my brother that story the other week because he was here and he was like, "You literally see everything in New York." And I'm like, "No, you literally see everything in New York."
Yeah, that's a crazy one. I remember that. And like, didn't you come record afterwards? And you were like, "Sorry, I'm just like kind of shocked."
Oh, for sure, 1,000%.
Yeah, that's shocking. I'm just trying to think of other ones. I can't. My funniest one is that one.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Like, it makes me mad because I like. I know, like, if I look through my camera roll, I would like crack up. But I feel like a lot of the stories between us, we didn't always share everything on the podcast, which is for the best. But like, I just think about like the beginning year or the beginning era of Mean Girl Pod when you and I were brand new to New York was just very much so like two kids in a candy shop experiencing like this wild city for the first time, and just like the trouble we got into. Like, we were always up to trouble.
It was living in New York. Like, if anybody listening is thinking about moving to New York and you're like in your 20s, like, you have to do it because it is the most fun city. Remember, we would like wake up, we would go to those diners. We would go to that diner like so early in the morning and like just have breakfast, and like we both love diners. Like, we did so many fun things. And New York is just a city where you can truly do anything.
Yes.
Anything.
I remember like the first time that I hung out with you. I don't even think Mean Girl Pod was a thing yet. It was when I first started at Barstool, and I think you invited me to get dinner. It was like you, Hannah, and a few other girls from the office. Like that, like just saying yes to everything. Like, I was obviously scared out of my mind because I like didn't know any of you guys, but I was like, I'm just gonna say yes. And like saying yes in New York will just lead you down like the most fun, craziest nights of your life, and you'll just get into trouble, and it's so much fun.
It is so much fun, and it's silly, and like the city's always awake, truly, and everywhere you go is a blast. Like, you can just walk down any street and be like, we'll go in there, and like it is so much fun. It's so much fun.
No, literally,
so move to New York if you're thinking about it.
That was like the biggest thing I remember. Was so shocked by New York is like when I was younger, I could stay out late, and like I would be Ubering home at like 4 a.m. and people would still be up, and I'm like, the city literally never sleeps.
Didn't you have a cab one time though, like from the airport? Wasn't it like a fixed fee, and then he ended up like charging you more? Wasn't that something that happened to you? Wasn't it like an Uber that was like, I'll take you home, but it'll be like $100 or something, and then you got there and he was like, no, now it's $200?
I mean, probably. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened to me.
I think that happened. I think on the way home from like one of the airports that happened to you. I remember talking about that. But there's just all these like wild things that you think about and you're like, whoa.
Yeah. I would 10 out of 10 recommend everyone living in a city in their young 20s.
I would also recommend anybody that wants to start a podcast to do it because they are the most fun thing ever. Like, move to the city, start the podcast, post the post if you're like wanting to get in content creation. Like, I think listening to us recount this and like all the good times we had and like also how excited we are for the future, like document everything and like do it.
Oh my God. And just, I know it's so cliche, but it's like just post your content. Just start. Literally, who cares what anyone else thinks? Because I would bet you 99% of the time, the people who are judging are people who wish that they could be posting content and wish that they could have the guts to post that first post. And like, content is so wild where like, it's a lottery. Like, one day you could post something and it will truly change the trajectory of your entire life.
It's a lottery, and I think one thing that we used to struggle with, right, like 4 years ago, because that's like when you start making content and we were like, okay, like posting this, do we not post this? And now like I think we sit here evolved and we're saying like, look, content can be a full-time job. It can be like a full-time dream job. It's unbelievable. It's content's everywhere these days too. Like, it's a really cool thing, but like, yeah, post the video and like look what can come from it.
Exactly. So it's just,
do you have any parting like statements?
I think the biggest thing that I want to say is, because I've seen this so much in our DMs, and it's like people saying that they're so sad and they're going to miss us. And it's like, we're not going anywhere. Like, we are still here. We're just on different platforms. And like, I truly promise you, 90% of the things you hear us talk about in the podcast, we talk about still on social media. You just have to like, unfortunately, go to our separate profiles. Like, we're not leaving.
Totally. If anything, we'll be more online.
Right? Like, it makes me sad when people are like, I'm gonna miss you, you're gone. I'm like, no, we're not. Like, we're just not gonna be on this platform anymore.
Yeah, we're literally not. Okay, my thing that I want to say is like, we always used to say shoot your shot. Like, I think that's like a really powerful thing. Like, shoot your shot, do everything scared, and never be afraid to like also evolve though. You know, like, take everything, just always know you have options. Like, you can create your own path at any point, and you just have to design it that way and then rearrange some things, and like, then your path can become your path. And dream big, but go and get it. And you are, I liked what I said at the beginning, because I felt like it was so true to you and I, which is just like, be who you are because it's good enough.
Yeah, and follow your dreams, because remember, like 4 years ago, Alex was a girl living in Oklahoma. I was a girl living in Minnesota, and like, we took a chance on ourselves and like literally put ourselves out there to the internet to get these jobs, and our whole life has changed because of it. Like, nothing you dream is too big, too small, and anyone can do what we're doing. It just like takes the courage to put yourself out there or post that one post. So don't let anyone ever tell you no, and that like your dreams are too big, because like, I thought that literally 5 years ago, and then look where I am today.
I know, it's such a good thing to say. Like, I used to think it too. And also, you can start at any time, right? Like, I think about some like influencers, or there's like this one account that I've been following, and I think she's 55.
There's no such thing as like a timeline when it comes to social media. You do not need to be young and 20 to be an influencer, or a certain size, or have a certain look, or this or that. Like, it is literally like for everyone, and there's a place for everyone, and it's not oversaturated. Like, just ignore all the BS that people say to like not allow you to follow your dreams.
I totally agree. We're obviously not going to do a listener question, are we?
No, I feel like that would be weird.
I think it would be weird too. I also don't want to end it, but I'm like, how do you end it? How do you end the last episode? What do? We didn't talk about this part. We just talked about the questions we were going to talk through.
I know. I think we tell everyone how much we love them, and like how unbelievably grateful we are for everyone, because we wouldn't have had this podcast without our listeners, without our audience, and like, we contribute all of our success to you guys, and we just love you. We just love you so much. I
absolutely love our community. All the DMs, it always made it worth it, right? Like sometimes you would say something and you're like, whoa, that was vulnerable. But then somebody would message you and be like, I feel the same way. And like, you really thank you for saying out loud what so many people don't want to say out loud. And like, those were always really cool moments. The other thing I'm excited for is like people being like, oh, I know Jordan, or I know Alex, like from this, you know? And it's like, that's a really cool thing of like one chapter of our lives to the next chapter of our lives. And I'm excited to see where we both go next. And I'm excited for our listeners to find some new podcast somewhere that they love.
Me too. And shameless plug, make sure to follow us on our personal channels.
If you've made it this far and you don't already, you have to go follow us.
Right? That is a prerequisite. Or
if you're at our last episode, 45 minutes in, throw us a follow. And like and subscribe.
Right. And since we are so awkward, and I don't even like to say goodbye. Like, I'm not even going to say goodbye.
I know we're not going to. You and I, the last thing we're going to do is say goodbye. We're just going to be, and that's it. Love you guys. See you next week, but not.
No, literally. Like, it'll just be, all of a sudden we'll be talking, and then I'll be like, like the signal's gone.
Right there. And it's like a click. Okay, did we do it?
Yeah,
Julie's
I guess.
Laughing at us.
We love you guys so much. Bye.
Oh, okay. We love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
I'm Alex Bennett.
And I'm Jordan Woodruff. So, AB, do what you do best.
If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Stay connected with us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Snapchat at MeanGirlPod. Podcast plus social artwork and post-production by Creative Evolution Studios. Mean Girl Pod, we're your besties in your ear. New episodes every Monday.